Hi Virgo, welcome to The Modern Spiritualist. My name is Raheem. Today we're going to look at April for you. You can use this for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node. Celtic Cross spread with the Albano weight deck plus a Catalyst energy, which I use Threads of Fate Oracle for. We're going to start there. The Catalyst energy is going to keep you in the highest alignment possible. So if you get lost in process throughout the month or you spiral, you can always kind of lean on the Catalyst energy to bring you back into your center. So we're going to start there. We have the Strength card this month. Nice. Ooh, I pulled this for myself several days in a row the past week, so it's been coming up. What I really like about this card is just how strong the roots are. And I feel like that's where, the major source of strength really comes from, at least on this planet, in this incarnation, right, as humans. Having a really strong foundation, really being rooted into the earth on all layers kind of sets you up for being able to really just kind of handle anything that's being thrown at you. If you think of really ancient trees that have really thick trunks and are maybe really tall, it's just like nothing can bulldoze that. You know what I mean? They're so old, so they've been able to root for so long. And so what I'm really getting is that this is a month to strengthen your roots, to increase your sense of grounding, to become more embodied, to get even deeper into yourself, into your true self, as an incarnate being, in the physical material reality, as an earth sign as well, Virgo, your roots are really, really important. And so, I'm getting kind of a variance in terms of, there's some of you are pretty well grounded, and it's just time to kind of upgrade that because of the work that you've done recently. When you go through energetic changes significantly, then you've got to, create stronger roots to kind of support, your increased frequency, or, your system gets more complex and more energetic, and in response to that, you need to root even deeper into the ground. It's kind of like, you've got these higher branches that are reaching into the sky, right? And you need the root system to be able to support that. And so you want to be able to be growing in both directions, growing towards the light and also growing even deeper into the core of the earth. So that's the invitation this month. Those of you that just don't have grounding practices at all, like you're not in your body at all, and I think for some of you that's definitely true. I'm also feeling, particularly when I say that, like being cut off at the waist. So what I'm really getting actually is literal strength exercises for those of you that don't have strong energetic grounding, that aren't really living in your body. I'm really feeling into maybe the best thing for that is to actually strengthen your legs physically. So, calisthenic exercises that work your leg muscles, going for hikes, going for walks. Sorry if you can hear that in the background, that's just my rabbit. Going for hikes, going for walks, or even, weights, going to the gym, anything that can really kind of strengthen the muscles in your legs, because what that does is it trains you in the most solidified physical material way possible, what it feels like to have a strong foundation. And so that's a good place to start for those of you that kind of fall in that camp, okay? I'm gonna move on. At your center this month, 2 cards. I have Temperance reversed and the High Priestess reversed. Let's start with Temperance. Again, I'm getting a top-heavy energy, so it's really in line with what I was saying with the Strength card. Too much is going on up here. There's not enough going on down here. So we feel into that some more. So Temperance is all about balance, particularly refinding balance by fusing new energy into your system. So it's kind of like fusion of old and new. So what needs to be revamped, what needs to be renewed and refreshed? It looks like you've already done that. There may have been some sort of like energetic downloads or something that's been really mind spirit heavy for you recently. And now you just need to integrate it into your body, into the rest of the system. And so it is really a month to be focused on the here and now, the physical material world and your body. And any kind of movement practices as well, like yoga, Tai Chi, anything that gets the the higher energies into your body and infusing with you at the cellular level. That is the biggest task for you this month. Let's see. That's paired with the High Priestess reversed. Secrets coming to light. Things you weren't originally aware of. And I think the High Priestess is a yin energy. The earth is a yin energy. And the reason why a lot of us aren't grounded is because we don't honor the yin in our culture. And so the yin gets kind of stuffed down and repressed or ignored, or a separation gets created. I feel like that aspect of you is coming to light. I'm getting, for those of you that identify as women, or identify more on the feminine side, it looks like there's some sort of reclamation process going on of you recognizing your divine femininity, and honoring it instead of pushing it away. And so in terms of secrets coming to light, I feel like it's secrets that you've kept from yourself, ways that you've abused yourself or your yin space or your femininity, in order to try to survive this culture, and needing to reclaim the gifts that you've kind of pushed away from that aspect of yourself. For those of you that are more male or masculine identified, it's just balancing your opposites, making sure that you are integrating your opposites so that you are coming into a better sense of dynamic wholeness, right? Connecting with your yin to create less of a top heaviness, basically, so that your system's really kind of filled out, okay? It doesn't seem like, for those of you that are male presenting this doesn't seem like as big of a deal. It seems like just doing the grounding practices is going to be enough, connecting with the earth, mother, or whatever. For those of you that are more female identified, this looks like a really big deal. Like secrets, like really big secrets, important secrets coming to light and needing to integrate them and work with that energy, okay? Crossing that, we have the King of Wands. So I'm getting a bit of a split here. So I'm just kind of feeling into what that split is about. Yeah, so this is representing the yang. So here we have the yin, here we have the yang, and here we have the fusion of both. So there's absolutely a theme here. And so this seems like mostly a supportive energy. The split off I'm getting is that this is the head heaviness that I was kind of talking about, is a lot of yang energy, a lot of high vibrational spirit energy that isn't fusing, or at this point hasn't fused with the yin in the way that it needs to create that integrated balance. So the only negative I'm getting is that it's just out of balance. I don't get anything, because sometimes the yang I can feel into, an oppressive force, especially when it comes to, feminine energies not being fully claimed. But I'm not really getting that. I'm just getting a need to move all the yang energy down into the yin so it can synthesize, and that's really all I'm feeling with that. So, already said, this just kind of affirms that process for you. In the deep past affecting your present, we have the Five of Swords reversed. So this is a huge liftoff, or more like a falling off. I feel like getting this imagery of like trees losing their leaves in the fall, moving into winter. And this is what you've done. You've done a lot of work to kind of, I think, minimize the voices within you that seek to criticize or judge you or keep you small. And it looks like you've kind of already done the death work here of kind of getting rid of those voices that don't serve you. And so you're right on track in terms of introducing or integrating, newer, revitalized energy into your system, because you've kind of already done the work to erase a lot of the things that would be in the way of doing that. So you've cleared space for yourself, and that's supportive. In your foundation, we have the Three of Cups reversed. I'm feeling a lot of alone time. And for some of you, it seems like maybe not forced upon you, but like you want something else. Like there's this feeling of like wanting to reach towards community and feeling kind of cut off from it. This being in your foundation means that this energy does seek to support you. And so if you're feeling kind of left out in the cold, or like you don't have people in your corner, I don't want to say like there's a reason for that, but there is. There's a reason that you are where you are right now and why you're feeling a little bit isolated. And it really isn't existing to make you suffer. I'm just going to feel deeper into that. And I'm being told it's temporary. It's a temporary state of being. It will release. This is an opportunity for you to rely on your own sense of self to strengthen the roots, to move into the yin, into kind of, the darker energies. And by darker, I just mean, the yin is, a great example of yin energy is the womb, right? Completely dark in there. It's just an open vessel for a child to develop. Same with the core of the earth. It's just this, iron core, a solid, cold iron core. It's the yin. And it can feel isolating to anticipate. It's more like anticipatory, like going into the void. It feels scary, and there's this fear of being alone in that space. But the thing is that it's also just, the earth is the divine mother for us. And so she is there when you meet the void on that level. She is there to greet you and protect you and keep you safe. You're not alone. Same with the womb. I mean, you're alone in the womb, but you're inside your mother. Like it's kind of, same concept. And not to be gender exclusionary if you're male identified and have birthed children. But I just mean, in general, the concept of this yin space, this womb-like space. Yeah, and it also feels like, so in the direct, this is kind of like a celebratory energy, celebrating with other people in your life. It can symbolize 3 people, but it could also be more. In the reversal, what I'm getting here is that all of these people are you. And so it's kind of like you've got you here in the center, you've got the masculine side of yourself on one side, you've got the feminine side of yourself on the other. And this need to isolate from others in order to fully merge with yourself and kind of become a whole being with yourself. And so take advantage of the isolation that you might feel in order to fully reconnect with yourself and integrate your own parts of self. And that's what this energy is seeking to do, to give you the space to do that, uninfluenced by external energies that may throw you off course. And so the universe kind of wants to have you in an incubator right now, okay? And it's going to move forward eventually. This is just where you're at right now, okay? And it seeks to support you, this feeling of kind of being cut off from the rest of the world, maybe. It's temporary. Crowning you this month, we have the 2 of Pentacles, and this is all about finding new balance in your life. And I want you to kind of be aware of, in this card, okay, there's an ocean in the background. There's like ocean waves, right? And also, this person seems to be like juggling these 2 pentacles back and forth, right? And there's this kind of infinity symbol. So there's kind of this sense of like flow, or like kind of stretching things out. And because this is Pentacles, which is earth energy, it's kind of important to recognize the watery aspect of the 2 of Pentacles, even though it's an earth energy. You can't be too rigid here. You need to be flexible in order to find that balance. I had a yoga teacher who's also a friend of mine who used to say in yoga class, when we would like balance on one leg or whatever, he was like, remember, balance is not a permanent or a fixed state. Balance is this process of constantly coming back into balance. You need to lose balance to find it again, and so it's fluid, it fluctuates. You're not supposed to like stand completely rigid, unmoving. You're supposed to just do what you need to do to weight shift to keep, your weight on that one leg that you're standing on, and that's going to look how it looks, right? And so that's kind of the same concept here. Crowning you is, how can you balance all this? How can you integrate the new energy, let go of, looks like you've already done the work to let go of what doesn't serve you, so now you're just infusing what you've kept from the previous cycle with what's coming in now. And that may be messy, and whether that's emotionally messy, or it's harder to get stuff done, or you may have energy spikes and dips, all of that is fine. Just remember that you're finding your new kind of sense of balance here. That's why it's really important to root, because if you have that stabilized structure underneath you, you're embodied, you're rooted to the earth, you can kind of be in the flow, up above that. You can be in the world and things not quite be figured out or put in their place or fixed or rigid in any way, and it still doesn't throw you off course because you're in your body and you're grounded and you're rooted to the earth. So give yourself the space to not have any kind of set routines or habits or energy levels right now. Things are moving around, and so finding that balance means being in that fluctuation and being balanced and centered and grounded anyway, okay? Within being able to move with the energy as it's moving, okay? So being in the present moment is going to be supportive this month. New circumstance, we have the Five of Pentacles. So I'm getting a call to the Three of Cups here. Loneliness. I'm really sensing some real loneliness, and it doesn't seem like it's new. It seems like it's old, and it's just surfacing in a new way because that's where you're at in your process. So there's just a wound that was already there that's being agitated. This feeling of loneliness, of isolation, of disconnect maybe, or being separate from others. It seems like it's been with you for a while, and it's just really, really poignant right now. You're really feeling it this month, and I think that's partly because you are isolated this month. The universe is kind of keeping you from people. So remember that this is a great opportunity to address that wound. Why do you feel separate? Why do you feel isolated? Why do you feel separate from community? Why do you feel disconnected? And what can you do to meet those needs within you so that you can come back to the world with fresh eyes when you're ready? Because sometimes if you feel isolated, it kind of perpetuates on itself because there's this desire to reach out, but also a real fear of reaching out to others. And so I think that's what's coming through here. I would say don't push yourself this month. Don't push yourself too hard in that direction, since Spirit kind of wants you to be alone right now. And just keep your mind in check, because there may be this feeling of, if you see here on this card, there's like a stained glass window, and I don't know, a church or whatever, doesn't, have to be a church in terms of the specifics of this, but the idea is there's these people that are warm and well treated inside, connected to Spirit, connected to each other in community, and there's laughter, there's food, there's warmth inside, and these two people are like crippled. This guy's got like Tiny Tim thing going on. They're crippled and they're left out in the cold. And so I think that just may be what you're feeling. So I just want to remind you that, like, A, you never know what other people's circumstances are. B, this is always available to you. You just have to reach out in order to connect. And so I think that's what you may be gearing up to do here towards the end of the month and into May, is kind of gearing up, preparing yourself to start to go out into the world and reach for community. So remember that this wound is being aggravated in order for you to move past it. This month provides a great opportunity for you to address that, to integrate, those two parts of self, masculine and feminine, to, come into better wholeness. And as you come into better wholeness with yourself, that's going to naturally ripple out into the world, and you're going to find that connection with others. So just remind yourself when you have, pain around this issue, is that it is shiftable, and you're only experiencing the pain in order to be able to ultimately shift it. So there is community available to you. There is connection available to you. You just got to get there, and you got to do the inner work to be able to get yourself there. Okay. It's paired with the Ace of Wands. One of the things I'm getting dropping in is have sex if you're not having sex. Obviously, there's going to be this sense of isolation this month, but that doesn't mean that you don't see people at all. So maybe you have a partner, maybe you look for a partner. Maybe you have a partner and your sex life just isn't what you need right now, and maybe it was okay in the past, but you're changing, especially in terms of like all this divine masculine feminine integration work that you're doing this month. Yeah, it really seems like there is a thread of sexuality here, of like integrating sexual sides of yourself. And so one great way to kind of lead into that is to have sex, or to if you're having sex and it's just not satisfying, to ask for your sexual needs, to communicate with your partner, okay? And this pair with the Five of Pentacles I think is really interesting because it seems like this is kind of the medicine, and there could be non-sexual ones too, ideas too, and we'll talk about that, but this is dropping in pretty strong, so I'm going to continue to talk about it. This feeling of being isolated or left out in the cold, look at these two people here. They're together, they're both kind of in their own suffering, and they're not quite looking at each other. They're walking together, but they're not looking at each other. And so this could be, what you feel with your partner. Maybe your partner is going through a really great time, or he or she or they have friends that they're spending a lot of time with, and you feel left out in the cold. Maybe they got a promotion at work and they're doing really, really great at work and having a great time in that community, and you feel left out in the cold. So this could be, your partner is doing awesome things and you feel separate from them. And so you need to talk to your partner. You need to ask for what your needs are, so that you can reconnect. A great way to feel that reconnection with your partner is to have good sex. So have it and make sure that you ask for what you want. Don't just have sex. Have the sex you want to have, okay? Get your needs met. Okay, non-sexual. This could be some sort of opportunity, and maybe it comes in this month, to immerse yourself in community. And so maybe this is an offer from a friend or an acquaintance to join their group. It could be a job offer. I doubt that. It seems more like either a hobby or community setting or friendship or something like that. It seems like there is opportunities for you to connect. And so I would say, yeah. With Two of Pentacles, it's about striking a balance. So make sure that you do take time for yourself, even if it's hard to do that. But I also feel like don't be afraid to put some feelers out to begin to identify what kind of community you would like to be in, or communities, right? And to start to kind of ease your way in. Go at your pace, go slow this month. Ace of Wands means you're right at the start, and it's an energy of pure potential. There's a lot of passion in this, so whatever you're choosing to go after is something that has a lot of meaning for you. So make sure that, whoever you choose to connect with is really on the same page, because that's going to be important. There may be some just community trauma because whatever groups you were in the past, maybe growing up or whatever, just weren't the right people for you. There wasn't resonance, and then you can end up feeling like there's something wrong with you, and then you close yourself off to community in general. And this is saying, no, there are people out there for you. You just need to put in the work to find them, and also put in the work to heal the inner wounding that prevents you from being able to reach out. I am getting a drop in. This could be a job for some of you. Work-related trauma, and then the right job coming in, something that you're passionate about, something that you care about. If that's the case for you, you need to take initiative. I'm feeling that from all of you. You need to be the one to take initiative here. You need to ask for the sex that you want. You need to ask your partner to connect with you, because it's not that they don't care about you. It's that they do have stuff going on. And so if you feel left out in the cold, you need to ask for more time with them, without taking away from the experience that they're having. It's just, your needs in the relationship matter. And, your needs in general matter, and the same goes for them. Their needs matter, which includes whatever they're doing here behind the stained glass, and their needs in the relationship matters. So are you guys both getting your needs met as a relationship and separately, right? as individuals. So either way, what I'm getting is you need to be the one to reach out, okay? Because otherwise, people don't know. People don't. People tend not to look at others and think like, oh, that person's so alone, I should reach out. People are just doing their own thing, and so if you feel alone, you need to communicate that. You need to ask for a shared connection in any capacity, whatever it is for you right now. Ego this month, your ego. We have 5 of Wands reversed. That mirrors the 5 of Swords reversed, so 55 we got here. I feel an inner resolve to not fight yourself any longer, like wanting to get along with yourself, wanting to provide for yourself, all parts of yourself. And that seems really, really positive because it really kind of matches the vibration of this. This 3 of Cups reversed. These are all parts of you whose needs you need to meet, address, and integrate so that you can come into a better wholeness. And so, addressing those marginalized parts of yourself or the parts of yourself that seem to be in conflict or don't get along, instead of fighting different aspects of yourself, there's kind of a need for cooperation here. How can we come together? How can we make it work so that all of our needs are met? And in this case, I mean everything inside of you, because there are contradictory needs, and you need to be able to find compromise, whether that's finding a mediation between 2 extremes, like, oh, I really love chocolate, right? But maybe you eat way too much of it when that aspect of yourself gets a grip on that enough that your behavior, comes out of the desire. And then we've got this other aspect of yourself that really cares about your health, wants to strengthen those legs this month, right? Wants to kind of get more active and get into better touch with your body. And so now you've got this fight. You've got the one that really, really loves chocolate and will eat it until you're sick. You've got the other person in your mind over here who just really wants to get their shit together. You're going to have a conversation. How can we eat just enough chocolate that we're satisfied without being sick or damaging our health? And then how do we also meet the needs of this person inside you who wants a better relationship with your body? Is it, okay, I'm going to do a leg strength workout for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to eat some chocolate, and then, now both needs have been met. And so, usually the fight comes out of extremes, and you just need to mediate the extremes so that everybody's happy. And so that's kind of, I think, what you're doing here, not restricting yourself too much and not overindulging, which is a really, really good place to be, I think. And paired with that, 8 of Cups reversed. Yeah, walking away from habits that don't serve you. And this could be as simple as a mind habit of, telling yourself, like shaming yourself for eating too much chocolate, right? So just as an example. So what ends up happening is you eat too much chocolate, then the shame voice comes in, and that makes you want to eat more chocolate because now you're shaming yourself and you feel like shit. And so what do you do when you feel like shit? You eat more chocolate, right? So I'm feeling a real resolve in you to want to move away from something like that. So it could just be that thought pattern, the thought pattern that keeps you in a behavior because of shame or judgment. Or it could be, restriction, a thought pattern that keeps you really restricted, like never, ever, ever, ever do this, or you're a terrible person if you do. Like if you're the opposite extreme, like never eat chocolate ever. Maybe that's the habit you need to walk away from. This, a constriction or like a serious self-restriction. So what can you do to kind of moderate, come back into balance, come back into your center, and come back into your roots, right? By walking away from some sort of habit that doesn't serve you anymore. And it's not usually the habit itself that is the real source of the issue. It's whatever you're telling yourself that continues to create that imbalance, that continues to create that habit, right? That's usually the real issue. So it's not about what you're doing, it's about how you're talking to yourself, which is causing what you're doing. I hope that makes sense. Environment, we have the Magician reversed. So I feel like maybe not a lot is going to happen this month. And I was feeling that with the 3 of Cups reversed as well. It's just not a lot happening. in your environment. Now, there's a lot happening with you internally, of course. We have lots of stuff going on here internally, but outside of you, it seems like, if opportunities come in, they're not going to play out. If you kind of try to reach for something this month, it seems like they're not going to play out. I think I see that mirrored here kind of in the Five of Pentacles, which is, a feeling of lack, and this Ace of Wands, which is opportunity. It seems like, lacking an opportunity is kind of another message here. That doesn't take away from, you should put feelers out, even if you don't get something out of it this month. It doesn't mean something won't come later. This is just saying right now, not a lot's coming in. This is pretty independent of if you have a partner and you need to communicate your needs or have sex or whatever, that is going to happen. What I'm feeling from this is just like beyond that, community stuff, job stuff, things happening around you. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of it. And so if things fall through this month, try not to get into the place of lack. Remind yourself that that's where you need to be right now and that things will move forward eventually, okay? Hopes and fears this month, we have the Three of Wands reversed. This is kind of the limiting belief that I'm feeling into here is like nothing's ever going to happen for me. I'm always going to be stuck. It's always going to be like this. Again, pole to the Five of Pentacles. That's only true if you let it be true. I mean, if you tell yourself that, there is this aspect of like, if you sit on the couch all day, telling yourself nothing's ever going to happen for you, then nothing's going to happen for you. Three of Wands in the direct is about waiting for your ships to come in, right? And so you're sitting on the shoreline waiting for the ships to come in. In the direct, in the upright, it means that you prepared. You took all the action needed to get this ship to come in, and so the work has already been done, and now you're just waiting. In the reverse, it means you didn't really do the work in the first place. It's like you're waiting for your ships to come in, you're waiting for the opportunity, you're waiting for something to happen, and it's not going to come in because you didn't do the preliminary work, and so there are no ships. No signal has been sent out, nothing's ready. And so what I tell people with the Three of Wands is like, this is kind of perpetually true. The ships are always waiting to come in because the universe is always trying to give you the things that you ask for. But if you don't do the necessary work within yourself or in the world, depending on what you're doing, to make it happen for you, those ships will be perpetually waiting, and they will never fall in your lap. They just won't. They won't fall in your lap unless you did a lot of work, and then for whatever reason there was a delay, or you let it go and forgot that you wanted it in the first place, and then it kind of lands in your lap because you already did the work, and you go, oh wow, I forgot about that, this is great, right? I think that's the only situation in which things kind of land in your lap suddenly. But if you're waiting around for them to land in your lap, they're sure as hell not gonna do it. And so that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling this energy of nothing's ever gonna happen for me, and then perpetuating that cycle because that's what you keep telling yourself. And so this is, saying if you've had a period of inaction, it's a good time to start preparing yourself to take action and to invite yourself to ask for more. It's almost like you're not asking for enough. What do you want in your life? And it could be as simple as, I want better sex, ask for it. I want community, ask for it. And that's half of the magic. Half of the magic is asking, the other half is preparing yourself to receive. So, what can we do to move this? I think the hope here would be that things can change and that there is more out there for you. And of course there is. There's anything that you want is out there for you, and it will stay in the land of pure potential if you don't take action, which is why rooting yourself is really important. If you're not embodied, if you don't live in your body, then everything that happens to you happens in the ether or in the mind, right? If you're in your body and, your conscious awareness is occupying that space, then things happen in the physical material world because that's where you are. And so, if you want to stay in the land of dreams, you can. I just don't see the point if you're in a body. You have an entire lifetime of being dead. A lifetime. You have an entire death time of being dead to just play around in the ether. You're here in a body. You're here to experience life. You're here to manifest things with your free will as a human being. It's a gift. It's a gift. Don't let it pass you by. Do the work internally first. Heal yourself. Ask for help as well. The asking, like I said, is half of this. Ask and prepare. Ask and prepare. And in that way, that's when, you know, this rights itself and the shifts start coming in. Okay, so, and you start receiving. So things not happening for you, it's not because you don't deserve it, which, you know, the Five of Pentacles can kind of be like, oh, maybe I don't deserve it, maybe I'm not good enough, right? It could be a self-worth issue. It's not that things aren't happening for you because you don't deserve it. You deserve the world. You absolutely deserve the world. Everyone deserves to be happy and well. You know, everyone deserves to be happy. And that being said, because you have free will, it's not going to happen if you don't make it happen for yourself. So I think that's just something to get past this month, or to start to confront is, you know, what limiting beliefs really keep me stuck? What keeps me inactive? What keeps me unwilling to affect change on my life for the better? You know, what keeps me from pursuing the desires that I really have in this lifetime? You know, you get one lifetime to be this version of yourself. You get one. You don't get a do-over. So honor your body, honor this incarnation by doing right by you, you know? Okay, outcome this month, we have the Two of Cups. Yeah, and this is reconnection, finding reconnection. It looks like this month it's mostly about you and you reconnecting with yourself, with your body, with your roots, with your own heart, with your innermost wants and dreams and needs that you brought with you in this life. So it looks like you do the work, you know, which is great. You know, there's this sense of harmony right at the very end, this reconnection with self. You know, this is kind of a good symbol for the Temperance card, you know, the imbalance or lack of integration kind of uprighting and becoming balanced and reintegrated and creating a new synthesis and energy for your life. A union of divine masculine and feminine. You know, typically the Two of Cups can just mean, you know, a new love relationship or a really harmonious love relationship. And so with that, we do have this union of the masculine and feminine, regardless of how queer you are. Still, this is representational of the union of masculine and feminine energy. And for you in this month, it's within yourself. But this being upright is also saying that once you unionize with yourself, it will be so much easier to connect with others. And that's going to open up the playing field for you in May. Okay. So this month is an incubation period. A lot of internal work, a lot of wounds to address around community, around your relationship to sexuality and divine masculine feminine energy, and your body, your relationship with your body, your relationship with the earth, okay? And once you do that work, you're going to reconnect with yourself in a really beautiful way, like a divine way, a harmonious way. And in that reparation, you know, that reconnection with yourself, you will then be able to connect with others. And that's what's waiting for you on the other side of this cycle. Okay, so beautiful work. Good job. I look forward to seeing how this plays out for you in April. Please leave a comment if you want to talk about it, or schedule something with me and we can address your individual wounds or lack of grounding and what we can do to repair that. And I would love to work with you. Otherwise, hit like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see the next Virgo video, and I will see you in May. Good luck. Love you guys.